hold on one second. Go ahead, Nancy.
Thanks, Karine. I want to follow up on that because Senator Vance appeared to call out specifically one of the phrases that you used earlier, which was threat to democracy. He said, we cannot tell the American people that one candidate is a fascist, and if he's elected, that it's going to be the end of American democracy. Now, I recognize that Donald Trump has also used those phrases, threat to democracy, danger to democracy, but in light of what has happened, and in light of the fact that there are going to be disturbed people who take words like threat or danger literally, is the president and is the vice president considering avoiding those specific terms, threat to democracy or danger to democracy?
I mean, look, and I answered this question. The president has always been very clear-eyed about this, about the threat of the former president represents to our democracy. Just think about January 6th. January 6th, we have to be honest with the American people when we see those types of threats, when we see that type of rhetoric that led to 2,000 people going to the Capitol. We have to call that out. Look, let me step back for a second even further. You all as news organizations have the obligation, right? You are all obligated to cover events like January 6th. As I mentioned before, some of your colleagues were there, some of you were there on January 6th. And you had to report that the way you saw it, the obligation to do that. And we appreciate it because I know those were dangerous times. That was a dangerous day to be there. And, you know, we have to call out any type of refusal of an outcome of an election, any type of violent rhetoric. And this administration has the responsibility to be honest to the American people. So, look, we can, as a country, right, we can have disagreements on issues, on policy issues. It is okay to have that conversation. We had a debate, just as I mentioned recently. That is what's beautiful about what we do, right? To go back and forth about our democracy. But once there's violent rhetoric, we got to condemn that. And you know, the president's going to encourage all leaders from both parties to do so. All leaders from both parties to do so. It's not just on one. All leaders on both parties have to make sure that we do not use that type of violent political rhetoric. Because look what happened. January 6th, Paul Pelosi, Butler, over the weekend. We got to be mindful. Go ahead, April. Oh, I'm sorry, April. I think she had more. Sorry. I apologize.
No problem. So this is a question about the Secret Service, and I'm wondering if the president believes that at least until the Secret Service can get the resources that he says that it needs, does he believe that both presidential candidates should be avoiding unscheduled movements, particularly in open air locations like a golf course that are very difficult to secure when the Secret Service and law enforcement don't have a lot of advance notice?
So that is for the Secret Service to speak to. I can't speak to their protocol and how they do their business. That they are the professionals, so that is for them to decide on. I will speak to what the acting Secret Service director said, Roe. He said this yesterday as it relates to basically the former president's protection. And I think this is important. In the aftermath of July 13th, President Biden made it clear that former President Trump should have the highest level of protection offered by the Secret Service. And the president has repeatedly said that the Secret Service should have every resource capability in order to do their job, which is mission critical. And since July 13th, the Secret Service has greatly enhanced the security footprint for the former president. And so that is something that they have said they have done. That is something that the president wanted to be done. And so anything about their protocol, how they move about, how they make decisions, to your question, that is something for them to speak to.